things pretty much OpenSea once you close those two side things.
Yeah.
But I just prefer the space that I've got on OpenSea versus here.
Ooh, that one with the
Um,
beanie is kind of nice on the left.
and the first one,
Yeah, that one's kind of cool.
yeah, so this one's stolen. You can see it
Oh,
cannot be listed on
rip.
OpenSea. All of the ones over
This shit
there
is
to
so
begin
annoying,
with.
bro. I picked up so Crypto Dream had an issue and basically I had to pick up one of his I picked up one of his wolves that had sort of been scammed, and
Yeah,
I bought it for like safekeeping so he could get it back, and literally it's flagged, and I was like, I can't even transfer it to him. I was like, bro, what the?
yeah.
There's got to be a better way for this, like the stolen energy. I'm not sure I don't know what the answer is, so I shouldn't even be complaining, but there's got to be something, dude. Like they can't just be flagged indefinitely, and you can't do anything with them. I'm like, what is this?
So the person who flags it, Crypto Dream, should be able to unflag it and say that it was his by contacting OpenSea. Um, but the situation there is not great. It's definitely not ideal, and I agree with you. There's got to be a better solution. With my Clone X that got stolen from my wallet, that got hacked, I still haven't heard back from OpenSea. I sent them through everything.
Wow.
I sent numerous. So, sometimes they're quick, sometimes not. I still haven't had any response over there. What all the marketplaces have done recently is they've put a 3 hour trading block on
Yeah.
NFTs. So if you transfer an NFT from your cold wallet to a hot wallet, you can't transact that NFT within the
Yeah.
first 3 hours. But that only works if OpenSea is there answering the inquiries within 3 hours and flagging it within three
Yep.
hours. And typically they're not quick. I mean, my experience with OpenSea customer service is I rate them 0 out of 10. Honestly, and I've needed numerous things from them. And my experience with Magic Eden is I would rate them 7 to 8 out of 10. Anytime I've needed them, they're there on a live chat, able to help and all the rest. The reason I didn't say 10 out of 10 is because I know they laid off 22
Mm,
people, and I don't know if it's still the same. I haven't tried recently. But yeah, there's got to be a better way to flag stolen NFTs and to unflag them. The system does not work. So I got caught with one the other day. I had a Weave wide collection wide offers, and it got accepted, and 3 days later it's been flagged. So the guy who accepted it, whatever, must have. So it's a pain in the ass. I'm sitting with
yeah.
an asset that I paid market value for,
Mhm.
um, and yeah, that was obviously before the 3 hour window, or it was just flagged after the 3 hours. I don't know. So it wasn't flagged to begin with. So it's definitely not ideal. Definitely not. Eh?
He says, I've been meaning to ask you if you've wanted me to make public how you helped me. No, you don't have to do that. I mean, you can, but like that's not why I did it. Either way, up to you. I mean, I made a video for when I got hacked with the World of Women. You remember that when I got that little hack? I think we were at that point we had to been streaming together, right? We've been streaming for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were.
Yeah,
I
that one was
remember
rough.
that.
But I only did it
Yeah.
because I thought there was something worth learning in that hack because it was a very common way to get scammed. It was just one of those classic Discord links that beginners fall for because it looks normal to them. I mean, once you've seen it 1,000 times, you know it's fake. But if you haven't seen it 1,000 times, you wouldn't realize that's a scam. I literally just wasn't paying attention. I just happened to be scrolling on 4 different websites, editing. I was watching something. There's music playing, and I just was like, oh, I must have missed this random mint or something, and I just clicked it, and I was like, yeah, this is fine. And then I connected my wallet and I was like, okay. And then I was like, wait a second. And then it asked me to connect again. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Why did it ask me to connect again? And then the page refreshed and it was like, there's still the same amount of mints. And I was like, wait, why am I feeling sketchy? So I ran back to Discord. It seemed that everyone was like, don't click the link. And I literally, my heart dropped. I remember my heart dropping and being like, fuck. So I gave myself about 2 seconds to be like, fuck. And then I ran to OpenSea. I looked at my activity, saw the World of Women NFT was gone, and I was like, great. And I immediately went to revoke.cash or whatever it was called, disconnected from everything, and prayed. I literally sat here right at this exact table and I fucking prayed. I prayed and I was like, please let that be the only NFT, even though that was my favorite one in that wallet. Please let that be the only NFT. And thank God they didn't take anything else because I had I had a bunch of like random NFTs in that wallet that I forgot about that shouldn't have been in there. That should have been in the ledger. And I was just so grateful that the rest of them didn't get taken. None of the ETH was touched. Like I caught it within 10 seconds. I think that's why. But that's the only reason I made that video, Crypto Dream, just because it was a very common mistake that a lot of people make. Experts or normal people or beginners.
100% can happen to anyone, and it just goes to remind you, cold wallet, all the usual apps, the ones that we've said, revoke.cash, Chrome extension is really, really good. And that other one, all of which is we've spoken about a lot.
And
Let's jump into
I
what.
triple check the URLs every time, no matter what if I'm logging into a marketplace, I'm triple checking the URL and making sure I spelled everything right. I almost always go to the official Twitter and click their link from there, even if it's like Magic Eden or like some random website that like, you should be using a lot. If I don't have the tabs saved at the top across my screen, then I usually would go to their Twitter, and I still do that. And by the way, I do that even when I'm busy, like when I'm in between stuff, because I know how easy it is to just not pay attention and get scammed. And it's not because you're a bad person. You're chilling. It's a normal Tuesday, but like that's when you get scammed. That's when you get hit by a car. Like that's the thing. And when you say it's never going to happen to you, then it happens, and you can't believe it. It's because you were just careless. So
Yeah, but look, it can happen to any of us, and it's happened to all of us. It feels like absolute shit, and it can happen. You were doing a million things at once. I was doing a million things. It's the worst feeling in the world, and it can happen to anyone.
embarrassing.
And I do think, in general, Web3 needs to sort it out because if we want a future here, it needs to be better than it is at the moment.